It's a beautiful night and welcome to Impact Live. My name is Felix Dazi. I trust you're having an awesome time wherever you are. Right here on Impact Live, we speak to the salt and the light of the world, and we're still in the season 3 of Impact Live. I trust you're enjoying the conversations that you have been listening to on television and on radio. Thank you so much, and we don't take you for granted. Well, tonight I'll be speaking to a man that I've followed for a while. I followed his works, and I said you need to hear from him. His impact will be a blessing to you. The transformation of lives that is taking place by reason of what he does will definitely shape your life and your thinking, and will also get you to rise on your feet to do great things. He's in the person of Mr. William Plange, I should say, and he is the leader of the No Human is Useless. Is it a foundation?
It is.
No human is useless. And today we'll get to talk about a lot of things that he does, and everything about No Human is Useless. He has a book for it. No Human is Useless. He'll tell us how you can have a copy of the book. But first of all, we'll go for a quick break, and in that break you'll see some of the activities that he's done with the No Human is Useless and everything about it, and the recent program that took place right here in Ghana by the No Human is Useless Foundation. Take a look at this, and when we come back, we'll have an awesome time right here on Impact Live. As I told you, Mr. William Plange is my guest for today. Don't go anywhere.
Now, after school, I did my service, and then there was no job. But I get this kind of job. I don't know if you have experienced it. You get this kind of jobs that you end up using your salaries as transportation back to work at the end of every month. Show by hands. Oh, yeah. So those were the kind of jobs I was getting.
Welcome back, and that was Mr. William Plange there. He's an entrepreneur, he's a business coach and a speaker from Ghana and West Africa, who has overcome difficult circumstances to achieve success in his career. And after experiencing a period of unemployment and depression, he moved to the forest for 6 months. And during that time, he faced challenges and all that. He's a firm believer in the idea that no human is useless. He works tirelessly to inspire others to believe in themselves and their potentials. My guest for today, we are seated right here in this beautiful space, and we'll have an awesome time. Good to see you, sir.
Same here, likewise.
I gave you a warning, but you didn't heed to the warning. I said, don't look handsome than me.
Oh, come on.
And you didn't listen.
Oh, this
now look
normal.
at the result. Good to see you. How are you doing? All right. And I love the branded shirts. No human is useless.
Everywhere.
All right. Let me first of all allow you to introduce yourself and what you do.
So, like you said, my name is William Plange,
founder
of No Human is Useless. I'm a 9 times international best-selling author.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
Professional speaker, depression recovery advocate. You know, I help people overcome depression through storytelling because I lived it. Okay. So that's basically what I do. Okay. To just give people hope, and then just hold on for one more day when they go through tough times in life.
All right. So that means in life there are tough times.
Oh, definitely. You can't skip that. It's part of life.
Okay. All right. Everybody has reasons for doing stuff, and you wrote this book and started this foundation based on what you experienced and all that. But first of all, did you know this was what you were going to do all your life? As a business coach, you're going to be a motivational speaker. You're going to speak to the hearts of the youth. Did you know that was what you were going to do?
I had no idea.
You had no idea?
I never thought I would even write a book and do what I'm doing right now, right? But it was what I went through in life. That is why I found the purpose in it. So I'll take you back to my journey, right? I grew up in Tema.
Okay.
My grandmom owned a bar, a drinking spot. So my daily routine was I go to school, come back, do my homework, sell alcoholic beverages, wake up, go back to school.
Okay.
So we lived in a wooden, is a wooden structured bar, right?
Okay.
With my mom and my sister.
Okay.
So growing up, I thought I came from a wealthy home because when you ask for biscuits, when you ask for toffees, it's being
Everything
provided.
is available.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I grew up with that mindset. Now, in the same society I grew up, if your parents don't even tell you, people in the neighborhood will tell you that when you go to school and you are first in class and you pass your exams, your life is going to be beautiful because you're going to land a good job. You'll be able to buy whatever thing you want to buy in life. So I grew up in that society thinking that being first in class was the
okay.
ultimate, right? So I went to school. I was doing well in class, completed school, finished
Okay.
my national service, and then there was no job.
Okay.
All right. So that was where depression started for me. I was trying to get a good job, but I wasn't getting it.
Okay.
And I don't know if you have experience of this. I end up getting these kind of jobs that you end up using your salaries as transportation back to work. So at the end of the month, it's either you've borrowed money to go to work or you are owing somebody. So it was tough. Then I see my friends who I was way better than in class. Some of them had been fortunate. They had good jobs. They are living their life. They bought their car. Some are married. And anytime I saw them, I felt lagging behind because I was way better than them in class. So if that myth that the people in the society were saying was true, I should be the one getting the good job because I was good in class. But it wasn't. That's life. It wasn't like that. Now one day, me and my friends, we met. We're having a church chat, and one of them passed the comment that, "Hey William, get a life. We are all moving." And to him, he was just making a statement, but it hit me so hard. And during that time, too, my family also barely noticed me because I'm the firstborn. I don't contribute to any of the bills. I don't contribute to anything. So
you were just living. You were just there.
Yes. And I became so, I don't know, there was no respect for me. Sometimes when there's leftover food and you are not being told to go take and you go and take it, the way, they will scold at you and all those stuff.
Okay.
And it was really hitting me hard, right? So one day I just took a bold decision and then I moved from the city and I went to live in the forest.
Right? You went to live in the forest?
In the forest.
But why that decision?
Honestly, till today, I don't know why. Because I wanted to move away from the family and me not seeing my friends. I wanted to go just far away. But I knew somebody in the forest. I knew this man of God who groomed like people when they come there. Like so, he has a farm. So the boys go there, they go and work. So I decided to go. My reason was to just move away from all this pressure.
Which year was that?
2014.
2014. Okay, you decided to move.
Yes, I just wanted to move because there was no respect for me. Some people will mock at you because of your presence.
Okay.
Yes. So I got to this forest, no electricity, no good drinking water. Sometimes we drink from a stream that looked green in color. Animals, every living thing drank from it. Yes. And you have no choice because that is what is available. Now, when I got there, honestly, I didn't feel cool. Like, I wasn't exposed to this kind of life. So I was sad for the first week. And one thing that we do is when we wake up in the morning, the boys, we go into the deep farms. We work like 4 to 5 hours.
Which region is that?
Was it Brongahafo?
Oh, you moved from Accra?
To Brongahafo region, yeah. That yes, Swaba.
Wow.
Yeah. So we work like 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
And all this, I didn't know God had a plan for me. I was just doing stuff I don't know about. So we go like 4 to 5 hours into the deep farms. We get food stuff, cassava. We carry it on our head. We walk back. If you don't go, you're not going to eat. Or you have to wait for the boys to come back before.
Okay.
But if you go, you get to eat at the farm. Then when you come back home, you eat. So you have no option. Now, after a week, I realized that I was calm inside. I was getting calmer inside. I wasn't thinking about not having a job. All the things that was in the city, like the pressure had left. For some reason, I don't know how it happened. I started finding love in the forest. Like the boys, we chit chat, we were having fun and all of that.
Everybody was important.
Yes. We're all having fun. Like, so there was the city pressure had left, right? And me, I'm very prayerful. Like, I love to set myself aside and pray, meditate, talk to God because I love to experience things. So
this program is for men of God.
No.
Predominantly.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, you've not watched the program.
Now I've watched some. I know you interview some high-profile men of God. Yes,
it's for men of God.
Oh, wow.
If you were not prayerful, I won't come.
They are the right place.
Because someone asked me, "Oh, this young," and I said, "You don't know what the things he shared," because I listened to some of your accepts, and they were deep.
Yeah,
and these are things that you can get from a place of prayer.
Yeah. If you leave prayers, I'll forget it. Honestly, forget it. So in the forest one day, around 9 p.m., I went to sit under a tree.
And you were still praying in the forest?
Yes. I was
Okay.
praying. I was like, God, is my life going to be this way? I want to hear your voice. Talk to me. Now, as I was saying these words, and I hear a whisper, a female voice whisper in my ear, that William, go back to the city, start a business called the Errand Boy. The Errand Boy. That's all I heard. Now, no explanation. And I tell people that messages that are divine, that come from God and Spirit, it comes on clear, right? But when you act on it, when you act on it, it becomes clear. So God gives people messages, but because it doesn't seem clear, they just abandon it. Meanwhile, that is a real message for you to survive your life.
Please rewind and press play. Messages that come from God, they are unclear.
Yes.
But once you act on it,
yes, it becomes
clearer.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you tell me Errand Boy, what do you expect?
Okay, what do you expect?
Nothing. So I came back to the city later, met this lady who does graphic design. I told her, you know what, design my name, Mr. Plange, for me. She did it and was like, wow, so add my slogan, the Errand Boy. So the Errand Boy was there, and I posted it. And when I posted it, I said, you know what, if you're a busy scheduled person, you want somebody to run errands for you, pick your kids from school, do their groceries for you, call on me, I'm the Errand Boy. That's what I said. I didn't even know what I was doing. Then this friend of mine calls me that, hey, William, this is so childish. You're a full-grown man. Why don't you use Errand Man? Why are you using Errand Boy? You know, to him, you know, that's why I said, physically, he was thinking that using Errand Man makes sense than Errand Boy. But you don't know how I got this
What
message.
God told you
Exactly.
and all that.
Right? So I ignored him, and I trust that message, that voice, I trust it. So I went on with the Errand Boy, and guess what? In a week time, I get high-profile people in the community texting me that, hey, William, I saw your post. Can you pick my kids up from school? Can you do these groceries for me? Can you do this? And I decided to get contact with high-profile people in the community, right? So I was going about this Errand Boy, and I started going to Cantamanto. You know Cantamanto, if you want the best of shoes and clothes, you need to get there as early as 3 a.m. So I journeyed there, I get shoes, I can't put it on my WhatsApp status. And these same high-profile people were buying from me because of my services.
Your services
to them.
How many years are we talking about?
Oh, so this was 2014, that about 2016, 17 there.
Okay.
About, yeah.
Okay.
So it was booming, and one funny thing, I went to Cantamanto with, I think, 150 cities. I got like 5 shoes. I came in a week. I sold all of them, and I made like 800 cities.
Wow.
So me having 800, I think, okay, so if 150 has paved way for 800, then let me put all the 800 cities in so that I can make like maybe 2,000. Now I go get shoes, 800. I got so many shoes, and guess what? I ended up wearing it myself. So that business collapsed one way, and COVID. Let me take you, and we'll come to how No Human Useless came about. COVID came. I woke up one day. My grandmom said, "William, you need to leave this house. I am broke. I need to rent your room so I can make money."
Oh.
But I thought it was a joke because my grandmom would always make this kind of statement and like just forget about it. I stepped out, I came back, and my grandma had packed all my stuff outside the gate that, hey, leave my house. And at that point, Charlie, I felt my life had really come, because I had nowhere to go. I didn't have a stable job. And people in the neighborhood had come, like, why are you doing this to this guy? William is not a rowdy boy. William is not a bad boy. Why are you pushing him out? My grandmother says, no, I have to leave the house. So then we went to her church. She was a leader in a church, the Christian Mothers. So I was thinking that when the church people come in, she's going to listen to them. Now we went to the church, brought some of them home to talk to her. And she was like, the church didn't build my house for me. My grandson should leave the house. And at that point, I really felt my life, because I had nowhere to go. So we spoke to her and she was like, okay, if you want to stay here, then you have to pay for the rent for your own room so you can stay there. So my mom had to go borrow money. We paid for 1 year. Now, when we pay for 1 year, if I'm in my room and I turn on the fan, my grandma will come and turn it off. If I put on TV, she goes like, you are disturbing me. Then it was all frustrating. So another year came and she was demanding for another money. So I said, no, I had to leave. So I left and I got this small wooden structure, like a ghetto. I had to dump my stuff in there. Even if I had to go in, I need to just maneuver myself some ways and just enter. And at that point, too, I wake up every morning, I am praying, I am crying, and I'm hungry. It was all tears. And I have pictures and videos to all these things. I don't know why I was taking them, but probably it's God.
You are praying, you are hungry, and you are crying.
Crying, that's what I was doing. And I go hungry. COVID, lockdown, who are you going to ask for money?
Ish. Everybody's hot. Exactly. Everybody's confined.
So it was all tough. And one day while I was praying, it just moved me to jump on LinkedIn, right? When I jumped on LinkedIn, I posted this picture of me at the back of my book when I was in the forest. And I wrote a motivational message that sometimes we need to go through uncomfortable situations to find our purpose. So I had to go live in the forest to find my first business idea, the errand boy. So I just made this post, and this white man saw it, and it was like, William, I think you have a beautiful story. Let me introduce you to this group in the US if you want to share your story. I'm like, cool, I'll do it. So they set up a Zoom meeting, me and about 50 businessmen and women, and I'm coming to how No Human is came out here. And I was just telling them my story.
Just meeting the person online?
Online. So we had a Zoom call. I told them my story, how I transitioned from being like going to live in the forest and all of that, joblessness and all of that. So they loved the story. And I currently make these marks. I call them invisible marks. They are black marks. When you pour hot water in, they reveal those marks. Yeah, I do some right now. So before the call, I made one with the CEO of that networking group around it. So after I told them my story, I brought the mag out. I was like, hey, look. And I know God gave me that idea to say that, because I was just doing the mag to sell. Now I brought the mag out. I was like, hey, look, human beings are like these mags, where you're not aware of the beautiful things God has placed inside of you. You look black like this. But sometimes we need to go through pain and struggles. That is the hot water. Pain and struggles. And those moments is what triggers the beautiful things God has placed inside of us. So when hot water went in, it reveals the image of the CEO. And I'm like, wow, William.
I'm sure everybody will say, wow.
They were freaked out. They were freaked out. I'm like, yes, so this is who we are. So if you have one of these marks, every morning when you're having your tea, it's going to remind you that God has placed something special inside of you that needs to come out for the world to see. Guess what? Somebody who was crying in the ghetto and all of that, I started shipping these marks from Ghana to the US. They were buying from me. Ooh. And I started making money during COVID. So fast forward, they made me a member of the group. So the group was purposely for businessmen and women. So let's say if you're a carpenter, you have a deal, and I'm a let's say a photographer, you bring it to me so that the money revolves around the people in the group.
Wow.
So I became a member. I had no business. I was just doing my marks. Now I was praying again one night, and this same female voice comes and whispers in my ears that, William, this group, when you are having a meeting with them, you hear them talk about books. Have you read this book? Have you read it? So they love books, and you have a story. So put your story in a book and call it No Human is Useless. So this message came from that voice, and because I had no intention of becoming an author. So I wrote this book, No Human is Useless, and I started selling to them.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I became an advocate for depression. I started posting about tough times and how to overcome and all of that. That's what I was doing. Then, not knowing this, there's a group in UK called the Caribbean Global Awards. They had been monitoring me for a whole year. They don't comment on my posts, but they were monitoring.
They were just looking at what you were doing.
Same as you are saying, you've been monitoring me. And
I don't even, yeah.
So one day I just get an email from them that, hey, William, we've been seeing what you're doing with depression, and we are having our maiden awards in the UK, and we want you to come because we want to give you an award. Wow. And I ended up in the UK.
Wow.
Yeah. I had no idea. I had no plan. Like, if somebody had told me that, William, you're going to sit on a flight, I would say no.
You say no.
Where I'm coming from. But it happened. I went there, picked up the award, and I came back to Ghana, started pushing the book. And one funny thing, let me say this, if God gives you something to do, all right, it means that out of the billions of people in the world, God wants to have a partnership deal with you. All right. So that
rewind and press play on that. If God gives you something to do, it means God wants to have a partnership deal with you.
It means, yes, out of the billions of people in the world, you are the one that have been chosen to have a partnership deal with God. That is what I want people to get to know. So that thing, hold it with high esteem and work on it. So one funny thing about my journey is when this thing was bringing me the awards, it was impacting life. I had a job. I wanted a job in the US. So one night I was working around Junction Mall. You see, they are doing some overhead.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I had closed from work.
I never completed overhead.
Yeah, they still not completed. Now I was working one night around 11 p.m. Then I was praying that God, I want a job in the US. If you're going to give me a job, let me meet an angel on this road. And I don't want that angel that you have to sleep in your dreams and you see somebody. I want it physical, like the way I see you right now. Now, when I said those words, some strange wind started blowing and I was getting scared, right? But I said, no, I want to see that angel. So I was just praying. And when I got to the darker part of the overhead, then the wind got intense and I was still saying it. Then all of a sudden, I heard somebody riding a bicycle behind me. So I wanted to turn for the person to come and pass. Now I turned and I see this small boy wearing a black t-shirt with the American flag hoisted very big in the shirt. Now when I turned again to look at the boy was nowhere to be found. Then I got scared. So I rushed home. Then I heard this word that you were praying for a job in America. That is a sign that you get a job in America. That's why you saw that American flag. 3 months, I just get a call from a friend on LinkedIn that, hey, my business is getting bigger and I want an extra hand. I was doubting, so I even called a friend of mine that, oh, if you want a job, I have a job for you. But the person said, no, William, it's you I trust. So I had a job in the US, and my first salary was like 30,000 cedis. My first 2 weeks salary, because he paid me in dollars. And when he asked me about my previous job, what I was getting, I said 1,500 cedis, and I said, William, go and quit. So I started making money. Now, when I started making money, I dropped No Human is Useless. I went to LinkedIn to change the whole No Human is Useless to the sales and marketing guy. You know, forgetting that God wanted me to. I didn't.
So you were in Ghana, working in the US.
I was in Ghana, yes, remotely. So I changed everything, and on LinkedIn you see sales and marketing, and this job was going on. I was making money. I got my land. I bought a small car. Life was good.
It was good.
Well, this thing is only impacting people. I'm not making anything. 7 months down the line, my boss calls me that, William, I'm sorry, that's the end of the road, and I lost finances and we need to end it here. And it broke me down. The whole of 2024 was a tough moment for me. But people on the outside, they felt things were okay because I've gone to the UK like twice and all of that. But I was really down.
Again?
Yes. Depression has no cure. It comes in different forms. You overcome one, another one comes in. So it's like you are jobless, you want a job, you are depressed, you get a job, you've overcome joblessness, right? You go into the job, then you see there are toxic colleagues in there. So the job is you're not even happy going to work again. Another one comes in. Then you want another job. So it's never ending, right?
Okay, let me write some of the things I'll ask you to go in details concerning toxicity, depression. Right? We'll talk about all of these because very important. This is not a scripted program. We're having a conversation. So I want it to be a blessing to those who are watching. Toxic environment, dealing with it. And then also depression. All right. Right, and making room for miracles. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it because you made rooms for miracles. All right, and I know it will be a blessing to those who are watching us. So outside, people thought you were okay. You were living the life, but inside,
I was dying. Okay. I was dying. I could wake up and cry. But at that time, I had a baby and all of that. I need to take care of that. So.
That time you were not single again.
No, I was married.
You were married and all that. Now responsibilities have increased.
Exactly. I'm paying bills, rent, and all that. So it was really hitting me up. Then it broke me down. Then one day again I went back to prayers. Then I get to understand why I lost that job. It was because I threw this thing away. So it came, I go and pick it up, right, and do it. So I went back to pick it up gradually. It's not bringing me money, but it's impacting people, and then I'm not even begging for food. One way or the other, God find ways to bring people to just support me and all of that. Yes, so I picked it up, And that's when my book became 9 times best-selling.
Wow.
Yes, after I published the book in 2023, but 2024 it became 9 times best-selling.
What did you do differently this time around for it to become?
So I met somebody online, a
Okay.
publisher online, and we were talking, and the book came up. I was like, William, I can make you bestseller. And I'm like, oh really? So let's relaunch the book internationally. So we did a relaunch. So like we are having a discussion, we bring people in, I tell them the story, some part of the stories, and they buy the book. So we set a day for the best-selling slot. They bought the book, and then I became top in 4 countries.
Wow.
Yes, US, UK, Canada, and Germany.
Wow.
Yeah. So all the good things started coming in. And final thing, this year, so I registered No Human is Useless, decided to go all out, empower people. I share videos on TikTok, and it's saving lives. I don't even know. Sometimes the messages
I've seen some of the messages and all that.
Yes, one girl says he attempted suicide 8 times. On the 9th time, she chanced on my video and had a change of mind. So those are the kind of thing, the powerful thing this thing is making. So fast forward this year, I was looking for paid speaking gigs, right, outside Ghana. And I knew people who could have just make it happen for me. Now, when I talked to them, they were like, no, William, not this time. They're all rejecting me.
Ooh.
Then again, prayers work. See, don't take prayers out of anything you're doing. I go back to prayers, this voice comes again that you are looking for a paid speaking gigs to speak on stages. You are getting no for an answer. Why don't you create your own event so you can get a chance to be on your own stage and talk as long as you want? So that's where the idea came, and I decided to work on the No Human Resources annual conference. And trust me, I had no money.
When you started,
I had no money for this. This year, I had no money for No Human Issues.
we always spoke about the budget just for the auditorium alone, and I was surprised.
Yeah, and even before then, there was nothing. There was no money. I just designed a flyer, and I just shared it. And the man who introduced me to the US people, I said, can we do a crowdfunding platform? So we did it, and people were donating just $10, $5. It wasn't encouraging. But I set myself aside to take 21 days to do fasting, like no food, no water. So I wake up at 6, I eat after 3. So no food, no water till after 3. So when I was doing the fasting, on the 10th day, I woke up and I saw $1,000 in the account. And I went to check somebody I didn't know from anywhere, from Saudi Arabia. So I reached out to him, said, thank you so much for this. It was like, William, don't thank me. I couldn't see No Human is Useless and pass. Otherwise, God will punish me. Ooh. Inshallah. That's what he said. William, if you need any help, just call on me. That's what he said. Then we were able to get like $1,500, which we used to deposit for the auditorium. Then again, people would just come from nowhere, drop in 10,000 cedis. William, take this. William, I met somebody online from Switzerland, gave me $1,500.
Wow.
And this, I don't know how this thing came up.
This thing.
It just happened, right? And I had people flying from the UK and the Switzerland.
Just for the conference?
Just for the conference and me.
And I'm sure when you're about to speak, you didn't believe.
No.
That is this me.
You know, and one thing I need to chip in that since this is a religious program, you know Kewa?
Yes.
Kewa?
Yes.
You know he's not a prophet, right?
Yes.
So 2008, I was a rapper. When you go on YouTube, you see something.
Really? What was your name?
P. Willis. I've done a whole lot of stuff.
P. Willis.
So 2008, I met Kewa. And Kewa, I went to him like, I want somebody to produce me. So he made me give a freestyle and was like, oh, you know what? I'm bringing Keche out. So come back next year, right? So I never set eye on Kewa again until this year, January. I went to Bosphorus with my sister. And Kewa was seated behind us. So my brother-in-law was like, oh, go and talk to him. Kewa, I was like, I don't do the music again, so there's no point. Why should I go and talk to him? He's like, oh, go and talk to him. At that time, I had a plan for the event, for the maiden event. So I said, no, we should forget about it. So when we were about to get up and go, Kewa also stood up. So we met, like we had a crash. And I was like, oh, boss, I hear you do prayers on Fridays. I want to attend. Can I come? I'm like, oh, why not come? And he gave me his number. So I didn't intend to go. I didn't know what to say. So I just said that I went to sit in my car, took my car key, slot it in the car. Then I hear this voice that, William, this man should cross your path. He has something to give to you. So go to the church, right? So when I heard that, I was like, no, I was being skeptical because I've had some experiences with another church. So I'm very careful where I'm going. Yeah. So I came back home and I started praying about him that, like, because I had an intention that somebody who has been doing music, now he's a prophet, you know, Ghanaian and those mindset. So I was praying about Kewa, and I saw that he was in the midst of some high, like big men of God, and the big men had swords, a long sword, but he had a jackknife, something like a jackknife. And I was like, so if there's a fight and all these people pull their sword, how is Kewa going to fight, right? So not knowing, his jackknife had a button. So when you press it, it becomes 3 times the sword of the big men, all right? So when I saw that, then he compelled me to go to the church, right? So now I went to the church on that Friday night. Kewa saw me, called me, and said, I see a conference. And I see the month of September. At that time, I had not told anybody. I had it on my phone that I would do the conference in September. But I don't have the money, so I don't want to let the month out. He mentioned the date and the month that I'm going to do the conference. And he said, it's God that is giving me this gift. And from there, I'm going to take it to South Africa, to the UK, and it's going to blow up the world. And that time, I was talking to people in South Africa and the UK to get a conference done there. And he said a whole lot of things that was on my phone that nobody had never let anybody see, right? And he said I shouldn't worry about how this conference is going to come to life. So I wasn't surprised all these things came up when I prayed and like did my fasting, and everything came as how he said it. He said everything like dito. So big shout outs to him, and it's good to see people have the power of God with them currently, because now people are some teachings are online, people are they're just throwing themselves away, but then the power of God is still in existence. So all these things came up and we had a successful conference, and now as I'm talking to you now, we are planning on taking it outside Ghana.
Wow.
The people who came want us to bring to the UK, Switzerland and all of that. So that's what we've been up to. It's all about empowerment. You know, telling people that when you go through tough situations, that is not a time for you to commit suicide. You know, so I always say that God always hides the gold in discomfort. Where you feel that is the end of your life, that is where your blessing is. But people don't give themselves just one more day to wait. They take their life and then they leave the blessings behind.
We'll talk about the process, how the Bible says David behaved himself more wisely in the house of Saul. How you behaved yourself in times of crisis. And I know it will be a blessing to those who are watching us. Toxic environment, depression and all that. How you can actually bring yourself together and all that. You're still watching Impact Live. My name is Felix Dazi, and I trust you are enjoying this conversation from William Plange. I should call him Apostle William Plange. We'll be back after prayer. After this break, one of the things that he said that I trust that you have taken it inside you is that don't joke with your prayer. Don't play with your prayer. Don't play. We'll be back after this break.
See Harney, and we spoke, and I cried, and then I cried some more. And I released into him everything that I believed was wrong with my
Welcome back, and that was highlights of some of the remarkable works of William Plange, Mr. William Plange, and this is his book, No Human is Useless. And that was the video you saw was a video of his story, a little bit about his story during COVID time when he was depressed and all that, everything that you had to go through. But let's talk about depression. How would one know that he or she is depressed, and where does depression come from?
Depression, I would say, since I speak more on situational depression, medical stuff, which I don't go in there.
Okay.
Because mine is purely based on the real life situations we all go through. So from this perspective, I would say it is a feeling of constant sadness, right? Of you trying to want something, you're not getting it. It makes you feel so bad. that it leads you to not wanting to do the normal things you always did when you were okay with that. But then when that feeling comes in, it stops you from doing the normal things that you usually do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right. All right.
And also, I always say that depression is never ending, all right? It has no cure. It's always going to come attack you. And it doesn't know whether you are a president, a big man, or it attacks everybody. It has no respect.
No respect, okay.
So what you have to do is just have a defensive mechanism to defend yourself when it's coming, because it comes in different forms. Previously, when I was talking, I said that like when you lack employment and you feel bad, that's one state of depression. Okay, then you get a job, then later you find out a job that you had that made you happy. Now people in the working environment are so toxic that when you are going to work, you don't even feel okay. You feel bad again. But previously you were lacking a job, you had it, you should be okay. But now toxic environment has also made you feel bad again, all right? So you decide to leave the job again, to go find another job.
Oh, people leave because of toxic people?
Oh, yes. I have left a job because of the people around me. So even if I'm going to work, I'm not happy.
You're not happy?
Right. So I've left jobs because of that. But then you end up going to look for another job. Then this time around, you don't get the toxic people, but the job is taking all your time. You don't have time for social activities. That can also bring in depression. So it's never ending. But me, one strategy I use, based on my journey, I've had experiences with it. So I'll say it's a bit easier for me. But one thing that I do for myself is when I'm going into depression, all right, I stay calm. I set myself aside to have time for myself. And at this thing, I do 30 minutes for myself alone. No music, nothing. I stay in my room alone, all right? And just set 30 minutes for my time. Just close my eyes, reflect and pray in my head, all right? Doing so, I get solutions to come out of it. And it works for me. It works for me a lot. People are so busy to just have just 30 minutes for themselves. People don't do it because they don't have time for themselves. If you just have 30, just try this. If you have 30 minutes for yourself, alone, nothing, your phones are off, you just stay indoor, close your eyes, pray in your head. Even the prayer shouldn't come out from your mouth, just pray in your head. There are so many answers that you get from there. And that really helps me a lot. Yeah.
All right.
So that's the tip I'll give to people when you're going through depression. Just stay calm, because you can't fight it with your physical strength and you can't fight it with chaos. So it's just calmness and setting yourself aside to have time for yourself.
Right. Calmness and setting yourself aside to have time for yourself. In those moments when you were going through depression and all that, what were some of the things that you did that actually helped you? What were some of the things that you did that actually made you fortified you to sail through?
So for me, one thing that really helped me was me leaving the city and going to the forest. All right, that's one side of setting yourself aside from where the problem is coming from. Because the problem was I was in the midst of the problem, so I had to move away from my parents, my friends, my family who were mocking me, to set myself aside to a new environment, and that's why I got solutions. All right, so and it doesn't mean go and live in the forest. It doesn't mean you have to go and live in the forest. Just moving away, it could be yourself in the same place, all right, but then having time for your own self, like I was saying, like the 30 minutes thing, it really helps. So for me, one thing that helped me was moving away from where the problem was to go living in the forest. It helped me.
Okay, yeah. Where the problem was to go live.
Yes.
So everybody has his or her way of dealing with these things, all right?
What works for me might not work for somebody else, you understand? Yeah, so it all boils down to you knowing yourself, all right? And I believe God lives in us, all right? Because when you sleep and then you have dreams, you can see yourself going other places. So you ask yourself, who is that person? That person you see yourself in. I think God created us in His own image, all right, and His own likeness. So far as you're able to sleep and dream and see yourself somewhere, it means there's something higher that lives inside of you. And that has the best answers. For me, that voice I hear, if I hear it, I'm the only person who hears it, all right? And anytime I act on it, it works for me.
Okay.
So it all boils down to you knowing yourself. And by knowing yourself is just this 30 minutes that I'm talking about in prayers. You can ask all the questions you want and you're going to get answers.
Okay, all right. let's talk about the power of internet, because I was having a discussion with you.
Okay.
How can we use the internet to impact our world? Because you have a lot of audience online, especially on TikTok. How can we use the internet as Christians to influence the world and impact the world? Okay.
Yeah, my breakthrough actually came from the internet, right?
Okay.
Yes, that is where it's like a new world on its own that is helping. That's where I had all my breakthrough. But the TikTok is really helping me right now, because when I get messages from people seeing my stories and the kind of testimonials, like I was saying about the girl who attempted 8 times suicide and chanced on my video and then decided to have another thought. The internet is very powerful, and so using it the positive way is going to help impact people's life. So I urge that we use it positively, not just don't go and buy data, scroll the whole day, and you can do something to support somebody. One way or the other, somebody might learn from the story. I encourage people to also share their stories.
Yeah, stories and all that.
Because you don't know who is going to pick up something from it. And also, because sometimes I say some things and not knowing people are going through that same thing. So because of what I said, it challenged them to take lessons from it and use it to solve their problems. So the internet is a fast-paced way to reaching out to people. And so I urge people to use it positively. Yeah,
all right. People should use the internet positively because it works.
Yeah.
All right. You spoke about the hidden audience. Okay. We'll talk about how a third party ruined mine. In your book too. Envy is the ulcer of the soul. Right, we'll talk about it. But when no one is watching, and that's one of the most difficult stuff. You said that there was a time when social media had become an integral part of your life. I used to share my works, ideas, and beliefs every day. I would create something new, hoping it will catch the attention of someone who would appreciate it. But as the days passed, I realized that the likes and comments were pouring in differently than I had hoped. I began to feel discouraged and wondered if all my efforts were in vain. What kept you going at that time?
Yeah, so this is one advice I would want to give to people. You know, sometimes, mostly when I started, I'm all about the likes, the comments. When I post something, I want to get more views. When I'm not getting that, I feel
you
so
feel
bad.
Frustrated and all that.
Like, why? What I'm doing, people are not seeing it. But I tell you, people are watching you. How I got the Caribbean Global Awards was like this. They never commented on my post. They never liked, but I was always consistent in what I was doing. But they were watching me for a whole year. Then they called me up to come to the UK for an award. Right? So anything you're doing on the internet, there's somebody watching. Regardless of the like, forget about the likes. If you're getting 0 likes, there's somebody watching.
All right. So you keep on doing it despite no one watching you.
Yeah, you have to.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the chapter 9. I'm just looking for it. I'm here to read the book.
Thank your enemies, they paved the way.
All right. Thank your enemies, they paved the way. What do you mean by that, sir?
Yeah. So the story about my grandmom.
Okay.
Sucking me from home.
You had the shock of your life.
Yes. And then we labeled her as a witch. You know, people were calling her names. You are wicked and all of that. But if she hadn't sacked me, I wouldn't get to the ghetto. I wouldn't post that post, then get an introduction from a white man, because that thing has brought me where I am today. All right. So I tell people that people who push us into uncomfortable situations are not our enemies. Sometimes God actually use them, so that he can lift us, push us to where he wants to lift us. Otherwise, by now I'll be living with my grandmama home, and maybe, who knows, unmarried and still trying to get some jobs to do. But when she sacked me, it has paved way for me to get all these things happening. Yeah. Right. So people who push us into uncomfortable, they are not always, our enemies. Sometimes God actually allows it to happen so that we get some blessings.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes God allows it to happen so that we can get some blessings. You spoke about envy.
Oh, that story was about me and my friends when I was doing the errand boy.
Okay.
I had these friends who were supporting me, so I was working. So when we need to do some rounds, they set in and do it, and I give them some monies and all of that. So apparently I had an HND, in marketing,
Marketing,
and they had degrees, right? But I was older than them. So this friend comes, a new friend comes into our midst, and try to tell them that I am kind of using them. They have degrees, and why would they listen to me for me to order them about to do their rounds for them? So they also listened to him that I am using them, and then it broke our friendship.
Oh.
It broke our friendship, and I felt we were on the good side. We were doing things together, and it was all love. But then when he came in from nowhere to, speak to them about me having HND and using them, they listened to him, and it broke our friendship.
Broke the friendship.
So,
All
it
right.
was a sad moment, but then we all move on.
All right, all right. In all of these, the impact has been great. Which one comes to mind anytime you feel like giving up on this project?
Yeah, there are times. The truth is, there are times I feel like giving up because sometimes you want to do something, there's no money, and you also can't go be begging people, and so sometimes it makes me lose hope. But then again, when I go back and read some of the testimonies, like the one I'm saying, the girl who had attempted 8 times suicide, but just having a glimpse of my story, I have saved a life, right? God has used me to save a life, and which is so priceless. We can't pay for this. So it brings me joy within that, God has signed a partnership deal with me, and then it is helping saving lives. That alone gives me the edge to move on, regardless of money being there or not there. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So all the information are in this book.
Everything is in there.
It's in there.
Yeah.
All right.
Everything
All right.
is in
All right.
there.
How can someone contact you for this book?
So my number, for now, they have to personally reach out to me.
Okay,
right?
sure.
So my number, can I put it up?
Yes,
there?
please go ahead.
So 050-829-0814.
Okay.
So
All right.
when you call this number, you can get a copy of the book. All right. And I also do some free coaching services when you get a copy of the book. I have time to speak to you like 15 minutes
Okay.
via Zoom, and then just help empower you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Plange.
Good to have you.
All right, same here. Thank you so much. Well, that's it for today on Impact Live. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Plange, for your time. We'll see you same time on another day. Make sure you get this book, No Human is Useless. Bye-bye.
Bye.